going for the sleepover vibes. I have my drink of choice. I have snacks and I have a microphone. It's not attached to anything. I just need to hold something while I talk so I can feel like I'm in a podcast or something. We're gonna do like a Girl Talk Vibes podcast voiceover for the Plan With Me. The reason why is that this month's theme, my August 2023 Plan With Me, is inspired by The Summer I Turned Pretty, which, if you guys don't know, is a series written by Jenny Han. It's originally a book series, but it's become a TV series as well recently. And season 2 has been coming out this summer, so I thought it would be the perfect time to do a theme inspired by it because it's very summer vibes, summer romance, YA, young love. For my theme, I was really inspired by the aesthetic of the show. The title, I guess, card of the show has this like slanted serif font, and just the entire aesthetic of the show is very like road trip, sunset, beachy, lake house, all-American vibes. To add on to that, the soundtrack actually uses a lot of Taylor Swift songs, one of which is called August. So do you see where we're getting at here? It's August coming up, August. They use it in the show. It's perfect for this theme. So you guys can watch me set up my plan with me as we chit chat a little bit. I was using watercolors for this whole theme and I kind of wanted to create like a sunset vibe throughout. But that's not what we're here to talk about during this sleepover and this fake podcast. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because recently I've been watching a lot of these like rom-com YA shows. Not only The Summer I Turned Pretty, but like Heartstopper season 2 is coming out, XO Kitty just came out. I've been watching a lot of C-dramas, K-dramas, and honestly my whole life I've just been like a fan of rom-coms. It's become a very core part of my identity. Like if you name a rom-com movie, I've probably watched it. I wasn't the typical like boy crazy tween girl. Looking back, I think it's because I had all these like rom-com characters to fulfill my need for that. I was just like, you know, all these fictional characters are so much better than real life boys, so I'll just live in this little fake world. I have been very conscious over the 10 years on YouTube to never really talk about my dating life on videos, but I do think I'm ready to kind of share a little bit more about dating and love with you guys, just because now I've had a little bit more experience with it and I love sharing stories with you guys and I love hearing stories from you guys. If you guys didn't know, I dropped out of college straight out of high school. I didn't get to have like the typical college experience where you're like meeting a lot of people and, you know, I guess your hot girl era, if you will. So I really only started like seriously dating, I guess, within the past couple of years. And you know, of course, some of those years were taken up by a global pandemic. I don't know, I just always thought that by now, at 25 years old, I would be in like a committed long-term relationship, or that I would at least have been in multiple serious relationships. And I know there's no right timeline to do things, so I guess I need to stop thinking that I need to hit certain landmarks by certain ages. But anyways, yeah, back to dating. I never told you guys this, but early last year, I actually went through a breakup, and obviously it was really hard at the time, but now I can say it was so good for me. I learned so many things about myself. I have been pretty much single since that breakup, and you know, I've been in the dating pool, learning so much about myself and what I want and what I don't want. If any of you guys are going through a breakup, I promise you it's for the best, and please try to remember why you broke up. Also, just be honest with yourself. Sometimes I think, you know, when we're in like breakup mode, we kind of go into survival and forget about all of the bad things and try to justify a lot of things. But a lot of the times, you know, especially once you get out of the breakup, you realize that your needs were not being met. But I think with loving yourself and dating comes actually respecting your own needs and being honest about what you want out of a partner. And if someone is not meeting that, then you need to find that, okay? And also, do not text them, please. Another thing that I've been learning a lot about myself as a mid-20s person in the dating pool is learning about my attachment style. If you guys don't know about attachment styles, there's avoidant, anxious, and secure. You can learn a little bit more about it if you search it up. But I've realized that I kind of tend to lean a bit more on the anxious attachment styles. I'll overthink a lot, and I've really had to learn methods of self-soothing to calm my anxieties, because a lot of the times those narratives are not actually true. I think me having an anxious attachment style and thinking about all the possibilities, wondering what is happening, is me trying to pretend like I have any control in the situation, even though I don't. And usually that's how relationships work. You only have control over what you do, say, feel, all of that. My brain is almost trying to like make sense of the other person. It's been really helpful to be aware of my attachment style because I can kind of see it manifest. I think one of my struggles is that I really don't like dating apps. I know we all say it. I don't think anyone truly enjoys dating apps, at least nobody who's like searching for like a serious long-term relationship. It's just really hard to connect with people, and I think especially in this day and age, everyone has like a really short attention span. I'm guilty of it, and I think, you know, a lot of times when you're swiping on these apps and you start a conversation and then like a couple days later you kind of forget about it. And it's just because there's so many options, and I really just miss the classic meet cute. I don't know, like I think any rom-com watching girly kind of has this daydream of like someone coming up to you in a cafe or in a grocery store, this rom-com moment, but that doesn't happen these days. Another reason why I don't like dating apps is because a lot of times people will like ask for your Instagram or ask what you do, and I don't know how to like explain what I do. And I don't know how much to tell them. I don't know. There has been some times where I tell people that I do YouTube and they get kind of weird about it. I guess I should actually talk about the summer I turned pretty. I'm a Team Jeremiah girl through and through. Like from the beginning, I was Team Jeremiah, but this season is really making it hard for us Team Jeremiah girlies because they just like throw on the Taylor Swift whenever Conrad's on screen. Come to terms with Belly and Conrad being together, but Jeremiah is just such a cute puppy dog, golden retriever boy. Also, one thing I will say is that this season is very somber. It's very sad. I hope they pick up the mood a little bit soon because this is not what I signed up for. Like, I wanted a light watch, you know what I mean? By the way, I'm sorry if this is kind of like all over the place. I had no plan. If it's very chaotic, I apologize. I asked on my Instagram stories for some questions from you guys about love and dating. We're gonna kind of quickly go through a couple of those. Also, let's keep in mind that I'm probably completely unqualified to answer these questions. I'm currently single, so the track record is not track recording. Someone asked, am I really open to a relationship if someone comes my way? How do I know? For me at least, I don't think there's ever gonna be a moment where I'm like, okay, you know what, now I'm ready to be in a long-term serious relationship. Like there's no signs, and I don't wanna focus on like the timing of my life because again, then I'll be too focused on landmarks. I think it's more for me gonna be about the specific person. I think if you find the right person, you'll know whether it's worth giving up your single life and if you're ready to be in a committed relationship. I think the right person will make you feel that and will make you feel ready for that. How to stop making up whole scenarios with a person you barely interacted with. This is so real for me. As a fellow overthinker, I also get in the habit of imagining scenarios and stuff like that. A lot of times in the beginning of a relationship, if you're in the talking stages or if you have a crush on someone, you can kind of get fooled into falling for the feelings that that person gives you because, you know, you don't know that person enough to actually like that person. One of my friends told me recently that a crush is just a lack of information, and that is so accurate. The less you know someone, the more you can make things up in your head about them because you don't know whether it's true or false, right? And let's be honest, sometimes the more they open their mouths and the more you find out about them, the illusion is kind of shattered. That's where we get the lovely ick that comes in. Something else I've realized in the past year and in my past relationships is when someone shows you who they are, believe it. I, like many other people, have fallen into the trap before of falling for someone's potential or falling for someone's past. You know, they used to be nice to me, or like you think that they can be fixed. But I think someone's current actions and someone's current words is them. And I know that sounds simple when you say it, but in the moment I think we get caught up in like making excuses for people. So no more staying up all night overthinking. Next question, green flags. I like this one. This one's fun. Besides just basic, decent, good human being things, an actual green flag for me is when people do not speak badly about their exes. I think that's really important because who's to say that they won't speak badly about you if you become their ex, you know what I mean? It's like when straight guys like call all of their exes crazy. Like, no babe, there's a common denominator here. This one has to do with men mostly, but men with sisters or at least great female presence in their life, I think it is kind of a red flag when guys do not have friends that are girls. I know that might be a hot take, but I truly think that it is important for people to have all different types of friends just so that you know how to treat someone else who's not like you, like a human being, you know? How to get over someone that ghosted me. This is a good one. In this day and age, a ghost is inevitable. At some point in everyone's lives, especially in modern day dating, they will get ghosted, ghost, and it's just like a natural part of the ecosystem, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't that way, but it will happen. And I think you just have to remember that it has nothing to do with you, usually. Maybe they're not ready, maybe they're not interested, they aren't in the right mindset to be dating seriously, clearly, or else they would have communicated that to you. It really just, again, all comes back down to realizing that you're great even without this person. Also, usually ghosting happens near the dating stages of the relationship, and again, you don't know this person. Your life is fine without them, you know? You were doing fine without them before, and you will do fine without them again after this whole thing. Focus on yourself, focus on asking yourself what you want, which is always someone who communicates, and clearly this person does not communicate properly, so why would you want them in your life, you know? A lot of times we spiral and we're like, why did he ghost me? Why wasn't I good enough? Did I say something? And it's truly not about you. You can't change someone's mind, and you can't beg for someone to like you or to respond to you. They should be doing that willingly anyway. There's a lot of questions about long distance, thoughts on long distance relationships, advice for long distance, and I actually was in a long distance relationship. It's hard, I will tell you that. It's definitely hard. I think it definitely helps if you don't start the relationship as long distance, like if you have a foundation of months or a year as a regular relationship, and then you go into long distance, because then you have that like solid foundation. And also, of course, if you have that like future plan of when you're not going to be long distance anymore. I know everyone says long distance is hard, and it's true, but I actually also think there's a lot of positives of long distance relationships. And a lot of times, sometimes I'm like, long distance might be like a good setup for me at this current point in my life, because one, I'm super busy in my current life, so I think I like the idea of two people having like their own separate lives and then coming together. But also, I think long distance forces you to have some pretty serious conversations about your relationship, about what you want, and it kind of can speed along the seriousness of a relationship. Of course, there are aspects that kind of get slowed down in long distance relationships, you know, like that daily chemistry and that day-to-day vibe with each other you don't have. But I do think long distance can be good, and it also helps you build a lot of communication skills because you're literally only communicating. I think if you're gonna be in a long distance relationship, you just have to trust the other person. Someone asks, just how? If I knew. Okay guys, so that was it for this August Plan With Me / Girl Talk podcast. Here's the final flip through of my August 2023 setup. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video format. I actually think it was pretty fun, and I enjoyed opening up with you guys a little bit more. I'm not sure if I will do it again. I just kind of felt like talking your ears off. But if there are other topics you guys want me to talk about, we can do that. Oh, also, I'll put your guys' recreations from last month here. Look at them. And doodle planner, of course. Anyway, I hope you guys are all having a hot girl summer. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Keep doodling, bye!
Watching you was such a thrill. All that I